Hi guys, welcome to Bookaholic 15. So guys, I wish you a happy new year. It is now 2017 and it's actually crazy to say that. So I thought that I would do my December wrap up for you guys because I haven't missed a wrap up yet and I want to get this done so I can start making new videos for the new year. So I'm going to go through them. I had quite a good reading month. It was quite a relaxed month since I met my target of books near the start of the month, which was 50, and I ended up reading 54 books, so I was really chuffed. So the month was just sort of a relaxed month, a nice month, and I had a good time and I just enjoyed everything. So I'm going to just show you the books that I have read. So the first one was Nemesis by Anna Banks, and this was the book of the month for our Holicadia. Unfortunately, as I've mentioned before, the book club is no longer going on at the moment because it's just been hectic and crazy and busy, and we both decided that we were not going to carry on with the book club anymore. But this book was still really good and I might do like some sort of book talk or something on it. This was in my top 10 books of 2016, so it was a really good book. I really enjoyed it. It's set in sort of a, it's set in like Egypt. And it's awesome, but it's like a fantasy, futuristic, cool book. And I absolutely adored this book. I thought it was so interesting and I really, really enjoyed it. The next book is The Diabolic by, I always say it wrong, S.J. Kincaid. And this book is my, it was in my top 10 books of 2016. It was my top book because this book was so good. I kind of forgot to mention what sort of genre it is. This is sort of like a fantasy sci-fi genre and it's so good. I absolutely loved this book. It's set in like the future where diabolics are sort of like I don't know how to, it's really hard to describe them. They are created and then modified things created to protect a human being. So that's what this book was about, and it was brutal, it was harsh, it was so good, it was a standalone, and I would just like to say that this will be a book that I will always remember, and I loved it so much. It was full of action, and even halfway through the book, I was just so confused, but in a good way, where I was just not knowing what was coming next, and I really enjoyed this book. The next book is a Sarah Morgan book, and this is Miracle on Fifth Avenue. I read this because it is a Christmas book. I read this before Christmas because I really wanted to read a Christmas. Anyways, this is so good. It's actually a third in a series. I think the series is called Sleepless in Manhattan. But the good thing about this is you don't need to read the first two to understand this book. It's just sort of like you do know the characters. You meet the characters that are in the first two books, but it's not like a big issue if you haven't read it, because I haven't read the first two. And I still really love this, enjoyed this. It's a romance and it's just good. I'm not even going to go into details with it, just definitely check this book out. Sorry if you can hear some noise again. It's quite noisy out there since my family are here. The next book I read is a Page Toon book, and this is Johnny Be Good, and I read Page Toon's spin-off series from this book, which was the Jessie Jefferson series, which I absolutely loved. That one is a teen series, this one is an adult series. So I picked this book up, I got it for Christmas, and I really loved the start and the middle, and I thought it was really good, cute romance. You kind of learn how the main character, Jessie, from the other books, how her dad and her stepmom, I should say, or, you know, how they met and how they fell in love and all that sort of stuff. But I did not like the ending. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, but I just didn't agree with what the characters did. I didn't think it was very good. It didn't make me want to read the next one. It actually made me kind of wish I hadn't read this one because I loved the characters in the series, the other one I read, and it's sort of, I just didn't like it. And I knew that the second book, because there's only 2 books, I knew the second book is just going to be a lot about them arguing and things going wrong and him showing his other girlfriend off to her, and there's also a matter of another issue which I'm not going to spoil you guys on, but I knew they end up together, but I didn't really want to read the journey of the second book because it just didn't sound like my type of thing. I mean, I'm glad that I did read this one because it was enjoyable to the last moment. That's why I rated it 3 stars on Goodreads, but I just didn't like the ending. I thought it was a bit of a letdown and it just wasn't for me, so I don't think I'm going to carry on reading that series. I think I'm just going to read my Jessie Jefferson series, and I don't even know if Jessie Jefferson series is finished now. I think it might be, but I read all of those ones and I enjoyed them. I just didn't like the Johnny Be Good series. It just was not for me. So the last book is a book that actually I really enjoyed, and it was also in my top 10 books of 2016, and that is this one here, which is by Rosamund Hodge, and this is Crimson Bound. Now, I wanted to read Crimson Bound for ages, but it was only out in hardback, and it was so expensive to get the hardback. And at the time, especially around the time that I wanted it, I didn't have loads of money, and I couldn't just spend it all on one book when I could have just got cheaper books that I wanted to read. So I thought I'd save it till Christmas because I knew it would come out in paperback by the time. I'd waited a year to read this, so I was just so pumped when I got this book finally, because I read Cruel Beauty, I think 2015, and loved the book. It was amazing. I absolutely loved it. So obviously when I found out that she did a Little Red Riding Hood retelling, I had to pick it up because I love myself retellings, as I've already mentioned before. I also have a video which I'll link in the description of all of my collection of retellings. Obviously I've added to it since, so I might have to do maybe, I don't know when this year, probably in the middle, I will do an updated one of them, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be getting a lot more in, because I absolutely love retellings. But anyway, I read it and absolutely adored the quite past halfway, and then there was a thing that happened that I wasn't as keen on, and I stopped reading it for a bit, and I ended up reading another book, which was the Johnny Be Good book, and then I picked this one up again once I'd finished that one, because I don't know, there was sort of like I'd hit a rock with this book. But literally I thought it was more pages that were going to be annoying, but to be fair, there was only about 50 at most pages that were annoying, and then once you got past the annoying part, it was actually really good, and also it made sense. This is probably really confusing if you haven't read this book, but there was a part that I just didn't like, but then at the end I saw that the book needed that, and I really loved it, and I was like, why did I put it down? It's such a good book. I think as well because I had such high hopes. As soon as something kind of happened that I didn't expect, I was like, oh no. But I ended up reading it and finishing it and actually loving it, and I can't believe that I was going to put it down. I'm so glad I picked it back up and finished it, because this book is definitely a good one. I would probably say I do prefer Cruel Beauty, but I think this is so good as well, and it's a very close second, because this one was still really good as well. But yes, so these are all of the books. So these are all of the books that I read in December. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and thank you for everyone who supported me on my channel the past, 2 years I've been on here. So thank you guys so much, and of course have a great new year. I hope you are all enjoying the new fresh start. So thanks for watching, guys. Bye!